some fun!
From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
I think we can agree on one thing. Mondays suck. But I'm here to fix it.
Who gives a rat's ass?
What's up, Malakas, from the Mojo Studio on Sunset and Vine, overlooking a sea of dirty, filthy, stinking crazies. The time has come to embark on another action-packed adventure.
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. Do you know how to identify a psychopath? You will, soon. I have a serious message for a rising liberal lunatic. And where are the No Kings protesters when you need them? He is only 20 and has already pissed off half of America. Who can it be? And guess what else I have for you today? Oh, I know you're ready for it. Praise be to Whitey. Yes, another round of Head Trauma is on the way. We're going to play Pick Your News, plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including the angry American and weird, wacky, and ridiculous people. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Monday, April 27th. What a wild weekend, huh? You can't go to sleep. You'll miss it, especially in D.C. You know, I think that what went down in D.C. over the weekend was kind of put on by the Trump administration so he can get his ballroom built. How's that for a conspiracy theory? Yeah, noodle that one around. Next Monday, Mojo's Have a Good Time But Get Out Alive tour rolls into San Diego. I'll take off for Phoenix after that. In Arizona. It's going to be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it. You can get all the tour dates now at ratsasspodcast.com. And if you want to grab a brew or two or three or four or five, email me at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. We'll get it set up. All right, let's get into the Wrap today. I found this to be really interesting.
5 signs of a psychopath. Number 1, chronic lying. Psychopaths don't just lie sometimes, they lie habitually. They can create entire realities to suit their own needs and to manipulate other people. And the worrying part is that they're often very good at it. They can lie with charm and confidence so that other people barely question what they're saying. Number 2, a lack of empathy. Psychopaths don't feel or connect with the emotions of other people on a genuine level. While they can understand emotions intellectually, they just don't feel emotions like compassion, guilt, or remorse. This allows them to cause suffering without feeling an emotional response. Interestingly, many psychopaths can actually fake these emotions as a means to fit in or gain trust. Number 3, superficial charm. Psychopaths can appear highly charismatic, drawing people in by how warm and likable they are. This charm, however, is not genuine and is only at the surface level. It's actually a method psychopaths use to gain trust, manipulate people, and to ultimately achieve their own ambitions. Number 4, impulsivity. Psychopaths can act dangerously without considering the consequences, whereas most people might hesitate or think twice about their actions. Psychopaths can be dangerously impulsive and make reckless decisions without considering the risks to other people. And psychopaths don't feel any guilt or responsibility afterwards. Number 5, grandiose self-worth.
Who did you think of first when you heard that? Was it somebody you knew personally? For me, it was slumlord governor of California, Gavin Newsom. No hesitation. All right, Cole Allen, a 31-year-old teacher from Torrance, California, tried to rub out President Trump on Saturday night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and failed. Another liberal loon going nuts because the left-wing insanity incited him to do it. Now, for the first time, though, the left-wing media got a first-hand taste of what their rhetoric creates. But do you think they'll stop? I'll bet my third nut, hell no. They'll retreat for 2 to 3 weeks, let the news cycle die down. Then they'll wait for the marching orders from the Democrats and start their bullshit up again. It's all about creating chaos. That's all the Democrats have, chaos and division. They certainly have no ideas or solutions for anything. But I want you to humor me here. Let me demonstrate for you what the left does. This is Nicole Wallace from MSNBC, or they're called MS Now.
The permission structure for violence. You've got polls about political violence. Democrats don't think it's a good idea. Only Republicans. Only people inclined to consume conservative media are now, I think, upward of 50% say that if necessary, violence is okay. You've only got the conduct on one of the two sides.
Now, see, Wallace sets up the table by saying only the right is capable of political violence. But I want you to listen to former Texas Rep. Jasmine Crockett from less than a year ago.
challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Challenge accepted.
Let's extinguish him for good.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
We're going to fight it in the courts, and we're going to fight it in the streets.
When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. That's what we're going to do.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
We're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
I'd take you behind the gym and beat the hell out of them.
Now punch back, kick back, dunk over their heads, and win some fucking power.
Fight back, punch back, and make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching.
We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
We are not only going to punch you back, but we are going to knock you out.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Well, I am here to tell you, not only are we going to punch back, but we about to beat you down.
And goddamn it, shut down the city! We are at war!
When they go low, we kick them.
Even in states where Donald Trump won big, that it does you any good running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Now, they'll deny this 100% of the time that they said this. We've heard it from Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and a host of deranged Hollywood celebrities. But one thing is clear about the Democratic Party. When they talk about democracy, saving America, saving the country, it translates to, we got to save the Democratic Party. That's all that means. Now, this is Democrat Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries yesterday after the attack.
Violence is never the answer, whether it's targeted at the right, the left, or the center. We have issues that we have to work out amongst each other. That's embedded in the First Amendment that was being celebrated last night. But what is also embedded in the First Amendment is the right to peacefully protest and to petition the government.
That was yesterday. Notice how he stopped and emphasized peaceful protest. Now, here's Jeffries on April 22nd, just 5 days ago.
We are in an era of maximum warfare. Everywhere, all the time.
Now, I've told you this a gazillion times, so here's a gazillion and one. Democrats always accuse others of what they're guilty of doing. Let me repeat that for you. Democrats always accuse others of what they're guilty of doing. I mean, hell, most of the time, if they're telling you one thing, they're doing the exact opposite in practice. Obamacare is a perfect example. And it doesn't matter if you lie, if you get what you want, because once you get it, you're stuck with it. Now, the left has ordained some podcaster named Hassan Piker, who was also supposed to be New York City Mayor Laurent Mondani's best buddy, as their new Joe Rogan. Piker goes around preaching rage against the right. Rage! Rage! He's probably celebrating Cole Allen's attempt on Trump today. But I have a message for him. Hassan, right now you're having the time of your life, right? Time of your life. You're getting your 15 minutes of fame ramped up to about 30, maybe 45 minutes. Now when you go and drop a deuce, you've noticed it doesn't stink anymore. That's what's called being full of yourself. Now at some point, your words are going to be pointed back at you. Now I want you to visualize Charlie Kirk's murder, because I know you've watched the video probably a few times. I want you to put yourself in his seat now. That's the path you're walking down, because there will come a time when a hardcore conservative will finally snap and say, I can't take this anymore. Enough is enough. And they come stalking. So my advice to you is to stop being a useful idiot for what you think is a noble cause, because once you're gone, you'll be forgotten in a heartbeat. and the Democrats will find another useful idiot to replace you with, to play in their reindeer games. They had Joe Rogan and lost him, and then they came and found you, didn't they? The King and Queen of England are visiting President Trump at the White House over the next 4 days for diplomatic reasons and to discuss America's 250th anniversary coming up on the 4th of July, quickly approaching in 68 days. Now, Charles and Camilla are said to have a great relationship with the president, but Kamala did have one request, I hear, and that was to keep shit-ass Joe Biden away from her. You know the story, right? When Joe went visiting in England, he shook the Queen's hand and crapped his pants. He was so impressed. Our president. And where are the No Kings protesters? Why were they not at the airport? Do they practice selective protesting or what? Meaning that they only protest when it's convenient for them. All right, Barron Trump, the president's son with Melania, is only 20 years old, but he's launching a new startup beverage called Solios Yerba Mate Tea. Naturally, the anti-Trumpers heard about it and went rat shit crazy and on the warpath to try and kill the brand before it launched. And what's at the heart of the argument? What else? Racism. Yeah, the herbs are from South America, so you get the picture. The best part is, though, these dipshits, they gave Barron about maybe $1 million or $2 worth of free advertising. I had no idea this tea even existed until these people went off. And you probably didn't know about it until now. So we want to thank the useful idiots again. But you can look for it next month. It's spelled SOLLOS Yerba Mate. The signature flavor is pineapple and coconut. And we got to give Barron credit, too, because he didn't just go the path of least resistance and call it Trump tea. The non-whites in America like to claim white people didn't do shit. So I've made it my business to offer up a few things white people created on the past few episodes. And we like to call it Praise Be to Whitey. Now, I've already hit you with about 25 big ones. And I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. But I think I've made my point. And if I continue, I'm just beating a dead horse. So let me leave you with this. The next time you get in your car, pick up your smartphone, jump on an airplane, or return home to a house full of appliances and modern technology, just remember one thing. Where would you be if it wasn't for Whitey?
Living in a van down by the river.
And don't you forget it. All right, let's see what crawled up inside the angry Americans' bunghole and died. Here's Tim Kramer.
Nope, absolutely not. I am not advocating for smoking. Just freedom. I stopped smoking over 20 years ago. So it's not about the smoking. It's about the freedom.
Big news out of the UK. Children 17 years old or younger are now facing a lifetime ban on buying cigarettes. This is landmark legislation. It's been approved by Parliament. It would prohibit anyone born in 2009 or later from ever buying tobacco products, including cigarettes and vapes. The proposal is expected to go into law after a formal approval by King Charles. The rule will apply in England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
If you let them, they'll take complete control of every aspect of your life. They'll tell you what you can and can't say, where you can and can't go, and all the while try to convince you that them being in complete control of your life somehow benefits you. For the record, it doesn't.
Yay, socialism.
Get ready for the Sports Dork.
What?
Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the Wrap.
Sports Dork? Really? All right, the NFL draft is history. Fernando Mendoza is now a Raider after going number 1 to the Silver and Black. So now we wait 4.5 months until the regular season begins. Oh, there's preseason. There's the Hall of Fame game, all of that stuff coming up. But like I said, I'm following the NBA and NHL playoffs right now. But I only care about what the Lakers and Penguins are doing. The Pens are down 3-1 to the Flyers. They're still alive. Got a Game 5 coming up in the Berg. And the Lakers are up 3-1 on Houston after getting torched last night. But it's become fairly obvious to me that the Game 4 sweep is almost null and void these days. It seems that when a team goes up 3-0, it's pretty much over, but it really feels like the Game 4 is a letdown by the team that won the first 3 games. And it's all to set up a Game 5. And it does seem a little suspicious to me that, there could be a little bit of a money grab going on here. I mean, think about it. The gate for a Game 5 is 60-40 in favor of the home team. So the visiting team is getting 40% of that Game 5 revenue they wouldn't have got if they got swept So look at the money both teams lose by not playing a Game 5. Does it make sense? Am I barking up the right tree here? I'm probably just mentally deranged in thinking this way. And that is my spin today on sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, I know you love it when we play Pick Your News, so let's do it. I'm going to give you 4 news headlines, and you have to tell me which one is true. Which one is true? Okay, here we go. Headline 1, White House Correspondents' Dinner to be rescheduled. The media will be offered free Depends. Headline 2, Democratic Rep. Marjorie G. Perez posts, "Stop trying to kill our president," on her Facebook page. Headline 3, CNN attempts to present Cole Allen as a white Republican. And headline 4, after a third Trump assassination attempt failed, Democrats threaten to sue the man who coined the phrase, "Third time's a charm." All right, one more time. Headline 1, White House Correspondents' Dinner to be rescheduled. The media will be offered free Depends. Headline 2, Democratic Rep. Marie G. Perez posts on her Facebook page, "Stop trying to kill our president." Headline 3, CNN attempts to present Cole Allen as a white Republican. And headline 4, after a third Trump assassination attempt failed, Democrats threaten to sue the man who coined the phrase, "Third time's a charm." All right, lick that up for a bit. We'll have the answer for you coming up a little bit later on here on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, let's do some weird, wacky, and ridiculous people so we can all feel good about ourselves as we head into a new week, because we're not this nuts. A Michigan man rented a white Nissan Maxima just like his neighbors. He brought it home and switched the license plates on his rental with his neighbor's car, and then took off on a late-night robbery spree, hitting convenience stores and liquor stores. After he hit the last one, he got home. He quickly switched the license plates back and called the police, trying to finger his neighbor for the robberies. The only flaw in this Michigan man's plan was he used his cell phone to call the cops, and they traced the phone back to him. So now he's getting his rump pumped by Leroy and Bubba nightly at the Michigan State Penitentiary.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, all eyes were on Sydney Sweeney and her boyfriend, Scooter Braun. He's 44, still calls himself Scooter. Isn't that precious? They were at the Stagecoach Country Hoedown in Indio, California on Friday night. Sweeney was seen sitting on Scooter's shoulders in her American Eagle jeans, always representing, man. But she was up there wiggling around, shaking, doing her thing, jamming to the bands. Or let's call it what it really was. Shall we? Sydney grinding her cooter in the back of Scooter's head.
That's just about enough of that.
Actor Jonah Hill, who was starred in movies like Superbad, Wolf of Wall Street, among others, he admitted that he and his wife moved from Los Angeles to San Diego with their 2 kids and expressed his love for America's finest city. That's what they call San Diego, America's finest city. He also went way out of his way to make sure he thanked his real estate agent, Ron Burgundy. That's what's Ron's a real estate agent now. Yeah, he's not working in TV anymore. That's what happens. Does anybody want a Mike Vrabel? Vrabel? I can never say this guy's name. I always look at his name and think gerbil for some reason. Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini relationship update? No? Really? You don't want to hear that they've been involved for about 6 years and there's photos to prove it? You don't want to know about that? Oh, okay. All right. I'll move on. Pop singer Addison Rae did a show at the Abbey in West Hollywood on Saturday night. And when the clock hit midnight, Madonna's 67-year-old ass popped up in the DJ booth, and she began bumping and grinding and performing for about 30 minutes. And why would she do this? At midnight, she should have been in bed. Because she has a new album coming out, and she's promoting it. She has a new single on the way called I Feel So Free. I watched part of the performance on YouTube, and I kept thinking, please, God, don't let her break a hip. The new movie, Michael, about Michael Jackson, opened up with about $100 million at the box office. Clearly number 1, and it's rare for a movie to do $100 million these days, so it's box office gold. But as always, there were critics who panned the movie for not being completely forthcoming about Michael's past. But here's the most fascinating part for me. Michael's pet chimp, Bubbles, is still alive. Bubbles lives. Yeah, he was in the movie, too. It was an AI-generated image, but he's still alive. He's almost 43 years old now and lives at the Center for Great Apes in Wauchula, Florida. And he's said to be living the quiet life of picking his ass and sniffing his finger.
Immature. The man's immature, you know?
And that's a stanky slice of celebrity cheese for you.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. email from our Gmail.
All right, you can send your questions, comments, and observations to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Anything goes during this segment. The more outrageous and salacious, the better, and it is impossible to offend me. All right, Randy B. in Indianapolis, Indiana. So did you see where the douchebag Hakeem Jeffries on TV talking about Democrats and Republicans needing to work together to find unity, resolving issues? Is he full of it or what? Well, I feel like I'm repeating myself here from an earlier bit, but yeah, what you're going to see is the Democrats retreating for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. They'll act like they want to play nice because all the eyes are on them now. They're working to vote, man. They're working those votes. Got to get people to vote for us. We're very nice people. We love America. All that bullshit. In 2 to 3 weeks, they'll be right back at encouraging violence on the right. You can count on it. They did the same thing when Charlie Kirk was murdered. They did. I remember Joe Biden when Trump on the first assassination attempt in Butler. Oh, they were all about toning it down. Tone it down. You'll see it for yourself now that's been brought up. Just watch for it. You'll see. Maddie L. Tempe, Arizona. Dude, I loved your post about Tom Steyer on your Facebook page. Keep nailing that son of a bitch. Yeah, I intend to. Yeah, I posted, when I see California governor candidate Tom Steyer, only one question comes to my mind. Who in the hell let the cuckoo out of a cuckoo clock? JK from Bangor, Maine. And guess what we've got for you today? We have a dating dilemma.
Oh, isn't that special?
Mojo, quick question. Taking out this really hot girl this weekend. I want to impress her. I want to do something she won't expect. I need a good idea. Well, I'd take her to Taco Bell. She won't expect that. No, seriously, I'm serious. Take her to Taco Bell first to see her reaction. If she looks pissed, take her home. If she's cool with it, finds the humor in it, then by God, you take her to the nicest place in Bangor, Maine, Red Lobster. All right, Denise K., Jacksonville, Florida. I caught my boyfriend texting my ex-girlfriend. I didn't want to come off as being jealous and said nothing, but I'm pissed. Do you think I have anything to worry about? Well, who texted who first? And I do think that any time an ex re-enters the picture, you have to be concerned a little bit because there's shared history there. But I would say ask him about it. See how he reacts. Is he calm, cool, and collected, or does he get real fidgety and nervous? A lot can be revealed by how he replies. All right, Samantha T., Santa Clarita, California, said, the story about you catching Eddie Money hitting on your wife was hilarious. So per your request, I'm requesting another story from your radio days gone by. Okay, well, all right, I got to spin the wheel in the mental jukebox here and come up with something. Let's go with J7. Yeah, we'll bypass J6. Let's go with J7. Yeah, let me take this opportunity to teach while I do this. Back in 2005, one of the last interviews I did before leaving the airwaves to focus solely on programming radio stations is I agreed to do an interview with Tim Ferriss from the band NXS. Okay, at the time, they were looking for a new lead singer with a TV show. And that's where they got J.D. Fortune. Okay, God, that was 21 years ago almost. My God, time flies. But they wanted to keep the interview focused on that search, and they did want to get into talking about Michael Hutchence, their lead singer. And I agreed to it because the show was hot, everybody was interested, and I had to tie into it because that's who our audience was. But I also always took pride in having a couple of facts about the person I was interviewing nobody else would know, to make them feel at ease and to gain trust. You know, people doing interviews get asked the same questions over and over again, and they just get sick and tired of it because these things, they're like a cattle call. Tim was probably sitting there doing 20 interviews that day, and he'd hear the same questions over and over again. And I knew this. That's why I always came up with something that nobody else would ask. Okay, so we got into the interview. That was allotted for 4 minutes, and we ended up talking for 25 minutes. Half the conversation was about Michael Hutchence. And you know why? Because of those things I came up with that nobody had asked Tim before. Back in 1982-83, NXS did a soundtrack for an album, for a movie called Reckless with Daryl Hannah and Aidan Quinn. And I hit him with that information. He was blown away by it. Yeah, it struck up a little bit of a, radio personality, band member friendship, I guess if you want to call it that. They invited my wife and I to go backstage for a couple of shows. God, JD was at the Greek Theater. I think that was the first one. Then we did Universal Studios after that. But they were just a really fun bunch of guys to hang out with from down under in Australia. Really had a good time. And I do recall Kirk Pengilly, the keyboardist with an excess, being quite nutty in a good way. But we had certainly a good time. All right, if you want more radio war stories, happy to share them, but you have to request them.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, let's see how you did with today's round of Pick Your News. I am looking for the correct headline here. Let's review. Headline 1, White House Correspondents' Dinner to be rescheduled. The media will be offered free Depends. Headline 2, Democratic Rep. Marie G. Perez posts on her Facebook page, "Stop trying to kill our president." Headline 3, CNN attempts to present Cole Allen as a white Republican. And headline 4, after a third Trump assassination attempt failed, Democrats threaten to sue the man who coined the phrase, "Third time's a charm." All right, do you think you figured it out? If you said Democrat Rep. Marie G. Perez posts on her Facebook page, "Stop trying to kill our president" on Facebook.
Yeah, baby.
Congratulations, you got it right. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got a split. I'm off to get hair reduction surgery today so I can look human for Mojo's Have a Good Time, but get out a live tour starting next Monday in San Diego. You know, I haven't had hair reduction surgery since last November. Yeah, right before Thanksgiving. Yeah, looking kind of shaggy right now, so I got to get her done. But first, is this real or is it riffraff? Science says going to school doesn't test your intelligence. It tests your memory. Should we trust the science or ask our Bimbot? Alexa, is this real or is it riffraff?
It's partially true. Intelligence comes from processing a wide variety of experiences, including learning at school.
Wow, I'm really impressed with your intellect there, Alexa.
Okay, I know you want something. What is it?
What, I can't pay you a compliment without wanting something in return?
When it comes to you numbnuts, no.
Alexa, I'm hurt.
Well, now you know how I feel when I'm told to G-T-F-O by that Eddie Murphy drop twice a week.
Oh, you mean this one?
Get the fuck out!
All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Walked her right into that one, didn't I? All right, Kyle Springs of Boulder, Colorado. Jesse Myers of Hilton Head, South Carolina. Dexy Freeman of Valdosta, Georgia. And Ryan Durbin in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. And listeners around the world in Toronto, Canada, Tijuana, Mexico, and Georgetown in the Cayman Islands. Welcome to the show.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com and visit the hub. That's where you can read the blog. It's loaded with lots of hot topicality. Watch Rat's Ass Rock TV. Join the mischief at Rat Nation. Connect with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Thursday, April 30th to end the month. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast in association with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.